He had curly hair and bright red cheeks. He was dressed all in green too. "For goodness sakes, Will," he said in a frantic whisper, "what will we do?" "Don't worry. Look who I've found. They both can read," said Will. He pushed Jack and Annie forward. "Jack and Andy, meet Puck, merry wanderer of the night. He'll take you to the stage. Good luck." Annie smiled. Jack groaned. "Come, boys," said Puck. "Follow me." Puck led Jack and Annie out of the costume room into the hallway. Then he guided them to a dark area at the back of the stage. Actors stood silently nearby, waiting to go on. One wore a beautiful white gown. Others wore tattered brown rags. Through an arch, Jack saw the roof of the stage. It was blue with stars and a moon. A huge crowd stood directly in front of the stage. More people watched from the galleries above. "Every single person in England is out there," Jack thought with horror. "How did I let Annie talk me into this?" "I'll take you on stage first," Puck whispered to Jack. "When I say, 'How now, spirit, whither wander you?' start reading your lines. Understand?" Jack barely nodded. His mouth felt dry. He tried to swallow, but he couldn't. Puck turned to Annie. "You go on stage with the Fairy Queen," he whispered. He pointed to the actor dressed in the beautiful white gown. "When she tells you to sing her to sleep, you start your song." "What's the tune?" asked Annie. "Just make it up," said Puck. "Now, if they yell rude things, do not stop. Just, if who yells rude things?" Jack broke in. "The groundlings get a bit wild," said Puck. "Groundlings?" said Jack. "The rowdy folk who don't have seats," said Puck. "They're standing close to the stage. If they throw rotten fruit, don't stop either. Just keep going." "That does it," thought Jack. He couldn't go on stage. Not with groundlings throwing things. Not with 3,000 people watching. Not with a million lines to read. And not when he was about to throw up. While Puck and Annie watched the show, Jack slipped away. He looked for the exit. Just as he found the stairs, he bumped into Will. "Where are you going?" Will whispered. "I can't stay," said Jack. "I'm sick." Will sucked in his breath, but then he put his hands on Jack's shoulders and spoke calmly. "Close your eyes for a moment, Jack," he said. Jack closed his eyes. He could hear his heart pounding in his ears. "There is nothing to fear," Will whispered. "Imagine you are a fairy. You're in the forest on a summer night. See the silver moon overhead. Hear the owls. Hoo, hoo." Will's deep whisper seemed to cast a spell over Jack. He felt calmer. He could picture the silver moon. He could hear the hooting of the owls. "Are you in the forest on a summer night?" asked Will. Jack nodded. "If you believe that, the audience will believe it too," whispered Will. "We're on," whispered Puck. The chubby actor ran to Jack. He grabbed his hand and pulled him along. Before he knew it, Jack was on stage.